hereby calling the regular meeting to order of Maine Township, it being Tuesday, January 28th of the year of our Lord, 2020, and being 7:30. And I would ask everybody to rise for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Clerk Jalamas, can you call the roll?
Assessor Moylan Fry.
Here.
Highway Commissioner Kazmierczak. Here. Clerk Jalamas here. Supervisor Marask.
Here.
Trustee Jones.
Here.
Trustee McKenzie.
Here.
Trustee Karaboda.
Here.
Trustee Sweeney.
Here. All right, first order of business, it is my distinct pleasure to be giving an award to the North Maine Fire District, Fire Protection District, in honor of their 50th anniversary. Dana, do you have your camera out? Great. Where's the seat? Thank you. Over here. Okay. In August of 1952, a fire district was established in unincorporated Maine Township. From 1952 until 1969, fire protection was provided to the district from the city of Des Plaines and the village of Niles. In August of 1967, a fire protection bond referendum was approved, which provided funds to build a fire station and purchase equipment. With a population of 12,000 in the district, the North Maine Fire Protection District officially opened its doors on December 16, 1969. During the first year, there were a total of 465 fire and emergency medical alarms serviced by North Maine. 50 years later, and with a population of almost 25,000 in the district, a total of 3,155 alarms were serviced by North Maine during the year 2019. The mission of North Maine is to save lives and protect property. To this end, North Maine is prepared to respond to emergencies such as structure fires, medical emergencies, hazard investigations, environmental emergencies, high-rise, below-grade rescues, mass casualty incidents, vehicle fires, natural disasters, hazardous materials, incidents, water and ice rescue. I would also like to acknowledge another anniversary. This month, Chief Robert McKay celebrates 25 years of service with North Maine. Now, unfortunately, Chief Robert McKay could not be here tonight because I believe there was a medical emergency. So, District Chief Tom Heft is going to, how do I pronounce it? Hoff, sorry. Is going to come up along with Arnie Witzig, who is our longtime neighborhood watch. Come on, Arnie.
Come on, Arnie.
I see you over there. To accept this award. And it is with the greatest of pleasure that we give you this award. You guys are absolutely awesome. We're going to take a picture of them. We're going to have one with the whole board. All right, and now if the whole board can come down and take a picture of these lovely folks, and I'll announce all the other people. Oh, I probably have to go down. I always have to go. All right, shorter people in front. All right, you got it? Okay. See, now I'm as tall as you can see. No, this is good. Actually, this works, doesn't it? See, now she's going to be like that.
There you go. So we look good.
Hold the gun. and now I'm gonna call everybody else up. Lieutenant Steve Redmond, Trustee Don Neal, Trustee Tim Hamilton, firefighter paramedic Randy Brace, firefighter paramedic David Kochek, I already got Arnie, firefighter paramedic Greg Zaluski, firefighter paramedic
Brett Shiagi.
Thank you. Board of Commissioners, John Aykroyd, Board of Commissioners, Bud Phillips, Commissioner Abraham Lee, and Trustee Dagmar Runs. Do I have everybody get you really have some over here?
We got one more.
All right, come on, don't be shy. Come on,
I'm right in front.
No, don't be shy, don't bite.
Good. I'll hold it up.
All right, you got it? Do we all fit? Sure. Okay. Sorry.
Got it.
Yay! Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And don't ask me.
Thank you.
Arnie, thank you. Hi, Arnie. Talk to you later. You guys can stay and watch the meeting.
Duty calls.
I heard them.
He calls it Portillo.
Portillo was country style. Oh, thank All right, next order of business is I would ask for a motion for approval of the minutes of the November 19th, 2019 special board meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes for the November 19th special board meeting, waive the reading.
Second.
All right, having a motion and a second. And this is the November. Was I at this one? Does anybody remember? I'm looking.
You abstained, so you're there.
Oh, was it? No, I wasn't.
You were,
No, you
Oh,
were
I
there.
was.
Because I see you abstaining there.
Right, no, yeah, but that was abstaining from the one before when I wasn't.
Right.
here. This one I was on the phone. It says I was on the phone. The guy, okay, any discussion on this? All right, hearing none, Clerk Giovanni, can you call it?
Supervisor Marask?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie?
Yes.
Trustee Carabota?
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney?
Yes. All right, next item of business, can I get an approval or a motion for approval of the minutes of the December 16th, 2019 special meeting?
Motion to approve minutes of the Maine Township Special Board Meeting, December 16, 2019, waive reading.
Motion, and is there a second?
second.
Motion and second, is there any discussion?
Yes,
Trustee Sweeney, I recognize you.
thank you. On page 2, there is an error in the amount of the town fund levy. Instead of it reading as it is currently at $3,999,793, the amount that was actually approved, and I have the levy ordinance in my hand, for the general town fund was $3,586,149.
I'd second that, Jim.
The total of which, that along with the general assistance levy of $413,644 is what totals $399,793. But the town fund levy is the $3,586,149.
Yours on page 2, but the motion to amend, was that actually in your motion to amend? Was that the amount, you know what I'm saying? I know we had a lot of discussion back and forth, and then Claire, I thought we had a second one. So is that in the motion to amend? Is that what you were asking? In the middle?
No, not, I'm just stating that the motion to amend that trustee McKenzie came back and
Right, is it-
amended because I had requested a lower amount than that, but
Right, but did trustee McKenzie
did I
say?
second?
You're just trying to make the minutes accurate, so did I say the wrong number?
Or is this the number she said, and then you
I didn't
came
go back
back
and
with a
listen to the
motion to?
I didn't listen to the
second
tape.
amendment.
But what I seconded was the amount that was approved, and that was the $3,586,000. The total of the two funds together equals $3,999,793.
But we need to actually listen to the tape to get it accurate then, because even if it was stated incorrectly at the meeting,
Yeah.
we can't.
It looks like just the number is missing. Looks like it.
Yeah,
The
yes.
general town
Right.
levy.
It's not that you want to, you can't change
With
Claire's
the
amount.
total amount of $3,999,000. It's probably what I said.
I would concur with
Yeah,
that.
that's probably.
The number's missing.
Wait, no, the number is there.
No, she's saying they left out the number because it says after decrease in health fund from 2018.
We could say the total of two funds, with both
No, you
funds.
can't say something that wasn't
You
said.
can't change the motion.
I understand. So we can either
So
vote
do
on
we
this
have to
next meeting or
table this?
Let's-
table it to next meeting.
All right, so I'm gonna make a motion to table this so we can.
Second.
All right, having a motion and a second, assuming no discussion, Clerk Gilamas, can you call the roll?
Supervisor Morass? Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie?
Yes.
Trustee Carabota?
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney?
Yes.
Now, I am seeking a motion for approval of the minutes of December 26, 2019 bill pay review.
Make a motion to approve the December 26, 2019 bill pay.
Is there a second?
Second.
Having a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Gilamas, can you call it?
Supervisor Morass?
Abstain.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie?
Yes.
Trustee Carabota?
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney?
Yes.
All right. Now, can I have a motion for approval of the minutes of the December 26, 2019 board meeting?
Motion to approve minutes of the Maine Township Board meeting December 26, 2019, waive formal reading.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Gilamas, can you call the roll?
Supervisor Morass?
Abstain.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie?
Yes.
Trustee Carabota?
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney?
Yes.
All right, can I have a motion for approval of the general assistance expenditures?
Motion to approve payroll for pay dates of December 27, 2019, through January 10th, 2020, and January 24th, 2020. General assistance checks number 52434 through check number 52504 in the amount of $55,041.74.
Is there a second?
Second.
Having a motion and a second, is there any discussion? And hearing none, Clerk Gilamas, can you call the roll?
Supervisor Morass?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie?
Yes.
Trustee Carabota?
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney?
Yes.
And can you all pass down your thingy jobs? Thanks. And I'm sure you knew what I meant by thingy jobs. Can I have a motion for approval of road district expenditures?
Motion to approve payroll for pay dates December 27, 2019, January 10, 2020, and January 24, 2020. Road district checks number 21190 through check number 21223 in the amount of $112,764.20.
Second.
Having a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Giovanis, can you call the roll?
Supervisor Moran?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie?
Yes.
Trustee Carabota?
Yes.
Trustee Sweet?
Yes.
All right, now we'd like a motion for approval of general town fund expenditures. And, somebody has better done than me. I'll make the motion. To approve payroll, this is the one with the 700, correct?
Yeah, I was going to,
Oh, you got it? Okay. So, Susan, will you do it?
Okay, so I make a motion to approve payroll for pay dates of December 27, 2019 through January 10, 2020, and January 24, 2020 in general town funds. Number 57419 through check number 57501 in the amount of $429,339.26. May I make the exception on this? With the exception of check number 57429, reflected currently as amounting to $5,701.62. And I suggest we approve $5,000 as that was the agreed to price and the excess was billed in reference to a board meeting attendance, as I understand it.
Yes, so what would be the amount that we're approving?
Okay, so we have to...
400, it'd be $428,637.64.
Okay, so we're paying $5,000, which was the bid amount and bid acceptance, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then we'll investigate the other expense. All right, having that motion, I'll second that motion, and is there any further discussion on it?
Can you check number on that, please, again?
Check number 57429.
Thank you.
All right, Clerk Giovanis, can you call the roll?
Supervisor Moran?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I have one other discussion point. I'm sorry.
I did.
Supervisor Morris.
Just on invoice number 57443 for a recovery connection function. I just wanted to get the attendance number on that. We'll pay the bill, but just, we had asked for detail before for the number of attendees.
Okay.
And I guess secondly, I need clarification. It looked like on that bill that was going to be a monthly charge. If so, and that's a recurrent charge, that's $600. I think it's something we want to discuss, especially in light of not knowing what the attendance is for that.
I believe it's in his board report.
Excuse me, he does write on the back of the
Right.
bill sometimes, the attendance not.
Yeah, we looked, I didn't see
Oh, it's
it.
not.
I might have missed it, but I
The attendance
didn't.
is
I'm
not in
gonna
the
look
board
again, though.
report?
Could be on the back.
He also does the monthly board report.
Yeah. Dates on it.
Does anybody look at that?
That's a
Okay,
good
but
idea,
we're
too.
approving the bill, so I'll get the attendance if it's not in the board report, but I think it might be. And they're way under budget, and so we allocated 50,000 to them, so. Okay, so the amount we're approving is $428,637.64, correct?
Yes.
All right, Clerk Giovanis, can you call the roll?
Supervisor Moran?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie?
Yes.
Trustee Carabota?
Yes.
Trustee Sweet?
Yes.
Okay, and now we've come to public participation. Do I have any takers? All right, hearing none, our next order of business is old business. It is the recreational marijuana law, impact on our township employment policy, addendum to the personnel policy manual, and Bob McCabe is here to present. Step right. He is for purposes of the meeting and all purposes with our attorneys, and he's our labor person. That was like basically.
Good to go? Okay. I did make some minimal modifications to your policy in light of the Cannabis Recreation and Tax Act.
A little louder.
I don't think A little louder, I'm sorry.
Or just.
Changes from what we see here in blue, or?
No, just the changes
Just the
that
ones
you
in
have.
blue. Okay.
Right. Now, what I've found in reviewing these is that there's really no one-size-fits-all for these policies. We have clients, and certainly the approach of some employers is we're not doing anything. We have clients who want more comprehensive changes. I could certainly make additional changes, but if you ask me my opinion, I would tell you that I don't necessarily think that you need them at this point. One of the big considerations where I do tend to make some more extensive changes is where the municipality or the park district or whatever the client may be has random testing. You don't have random testing. Random testing is what we view as one of the biggest issues with this change in the law, because what do you do with a random positive test result is the question now. You use reasonable suspicion testing, so if you have reason to believe that someone may be under the influence at work, then you could go ahead and drug test them. The statute, and without getting into a bunch of commentary on the way the statute is drafted, we already have a trailer bill that deals with law enforcement and firefighters, because the chiefs of police and the fire chiefs all believed that there wasn't going to be recreational use for their employees. And then ultimately what we got was policemen and firemen cannot use marijuana while on duty. And while that's helpful, I don't think anybody really needed to be told that. But we were. So then ultimately in the trailer bill, law enforcement agencies, municipalities that employ them were given the authority to preclude their firefighters and sworn police officers from using marijuana. There's some collective bargaining obligations there and what have you, but they were given that authority in the trailer bill. So you use reasonable suspicion. I'm not the biggest fan of the reasonable suspicion criteria in the statute, because I think when you read them through, you could easily conclude that they could be indicia of any number of medical conditions, as well as being under the influence of cannabis. So I haven't included that in your policy. My working relationship with your employees here who deal with personnel is pretty good, and so I think I would hear from them if something came up, if they had reason to believe that somebody was using it. The new law does require that you afford individuals the opportunity to contest if they do test positive, so I have included that language as well. But I think these minimal modifications will certainly serve your purposes. But I can answer any questions you have, and if you would like some additional clarification put in, I can certainly do that. I don't think you've had many drug tests here in recent times, or maybe any. For purposes of like CDL drivers, those who have to have a CDL, the law is unchanged.
Okay.
They still cannot use cannabis. Cannabis remains a Schedule I illegal drug under federal law. So,
But to
they
be
can't
clear,
use
we
it.
have no township or GA employees.
Who have CDLs. So, and if you did, the law would still require that they be
Right.
tested as the Federal Highway Safety and Motor
Is
Vehicle
this
Act.
not applying as well? to-
No, road district has their own.
They have their own, do they have a policy, the road district?
They do have a drug policy.
But
so-
they are not doing anything in relation to cannabis?
They do. I have had conversations with your highway commissioner about his policy as well. So I think they may make some changes to it as well. But we haven't gotten through all that there. This is just your policy.
Right. That's what's on the agenda for tonight, is ours.
Okay, but I mean, as trustees, and as a board, we're looking at the whole township.
No, we're not
Not the
looking,
road district.
not the road district. We're not in charge of the road district.
Okay, so are you saying that we would have no liability or no decision-making as it pertains to the road district on what they?
Well, Wally has the liability and decision-making, but he uses the same lawyer, so yes, there will be changes accordingly that match our changes.
No, there's not liability to the township, because the township, well, the highway code specifies that personnel policies for the road district are implemented by the highway commissioner.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
that's it?
So you recommend that what's
Just,
in
yeah.
blue be added?
I recommend that what's in blue be added, and there's some additional indications where I put in the word cannabis to cover that issue. But I think beyond that, I think your minimal changes are fine, and you know, I think your policy, unlike many that I've looked at, is pretty clear and concise, and I often fear that the longer these policy manuals get, the less the likelihood is that people will actually review them. So-
It gives a little more wiggle room every time.
So I like this the way
Well,
it's
because
written.
I'm just wondering, like, that one sentence, it says, well, it is all one long sentence. The employee will be given a reasonable opportunity to contest the basis of the determination.
Right.
That follows the state.
Isn't that presumed, or, I mean, do you have to add that? or-
No, that's required now.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yeah, the opportunity to request is required by the new law.
Oh,
The opportunity to contest, that's the request, contest, yes. All right,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you, back. So I would make a motion to pass the new amended portion of the, what we're calling addendum to the personnel policy manual as presented in your packet.
Second.
Having a motion and a second, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Jelinek, can you call the roll?
Supervisor Moran?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie?
Yes.
Trustee Carabota?
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney?
yes.
All right, now moving on to new business. All right, we have to approve a resolution number, thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Drive safe. And I will. All right, resolution number 2020-1, schedule of regular board meetings. Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Maine Township the following is the schedule of regular board meetings for the budget year commencing March 1st, 2020 to February 28th, 2021. March 24th, April 28th, May 26th, June 23rd, July 28th, August 25th, September 22nd, October 27th, November 24th, December 22nd. That's for the year 2020. For the year 2021, it's January 26th and February 23rd. All meetings are on the fourth Tuesday of the month, 6:30 p.m. Bill review, 7:30 board. All meetings take place at Maine Township Town Hall, 1700 Ballard Road, Park Ridge, Illinois, 60068. So I'll make a motion to pass the schedule of regular board meetings. We've checked it against Jewish holidays and all other holidays, and it appears to be good, and it's not on Christmas or Thanksgiving. Is there a second?
Second.
Having a motion and a second discussion. Trustee Sweeney.
I was wondering if we could possibly make two dates changed. The first one to me is July 28th, to move that to July 23rd.
For what reason?
My daughter's getting married and I'll be out of town.
I'd second it.
That's fine, but wait, we're in the middle of this. Hey, what's your other, you wanted July?
March was,
Hang on, I'm sorry, I'm looking at July.
So July 28th, you want to move it from Tuesday the 28th to Thursday the 23rd?
To a Thursday? I can't do that, but.
How about the 21st?
Yeah, and we just
21st
won't
is
be able
fine.
to do the bills though. Because of,
I'll be leaving the morning. So 27th will be the next, like, the day before.
Well, heads up, I'm pretty open, so whatever one will propose.
When would the bills be ready?
I think that, where's Chris? Oh, he left. That was the problem when we moved up that other meeting to a week earlier. Remember, we had to do a special meeting, so because of payroll, and I believe, and Doreen may know more than me on this, I believe they get submitted on the 22nd or 23rd is the closing date of this. Am I right, Tina?
Yeah, probably better if we could do the meeting, we're gonna do that in town, it's gonna take a couple days later, not before.
Right.
Is it possible to do it
The
after?
29th.
Right, after, instead
No.
of before?
No.
Either 30th or not.
Yeah,
I mean,
Okay.
and what's your other change?
Well, it could, like August 4th.
Just wondered if we could do March 19th instead of March 24th.
Oh, again, yeah, that's, yeah.
That's moving it
It's
up.
the same
Back a week
process.
Instead of up a week.
Right.
Can we do that?
What about March 31st? 'Cause that's the end of the month. Actually, it's a 5-week.
I don't have any
That was better.
problem. It is spring break. Yeah, that's what she's talking about. Are you in a position in March to be able to phone?
Yeah, it's just,
I mean, does it
well, no,
qualify?
because phone is got strict requirements.
She'd have to meet one of the
You have to-
stages.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Are you in a position to qualify? You don't have to tell me what you're doing.
No.
Just, okay. I don't.
That's
have
not
a-
impossible, I mean.
I don't have
just
a
like
problem with the
preference.
March 31st. I don't think we can move to July, because then you're, like, then if you do it a week later, August 4th, then you're doing the meeting August 25th.
She can do from phone, right?
But then you're moving,
I can,
So you do the
I can
27th?
do August 4th.
She can do from phone, can't you?
she can't, it doesn't qualify.
So if we do August 4, does that mess us up, or, no?
I
We
mean,
do
it's
August
gotta be
4.
What day is
Because
that?
It's a Tuesday,
That's
first
gonna be
Tuesday. in August.
National Night Out.
It's, right,
And did you say Mondays? No?
Third.
because it'll be our, it's like getting,
I'll be busy, I will be.
yeah, so will I, so will everybody.
Monday, the 27th
That would be-
of July?
No, 27th of July. That'll work for me.
But wait, we have it at the 28th, and what's wrong with it? I thought you couldn't be here any of them.
No, I said, I'm leaving, so the 27th is possible.
The Monday?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't, are you? Yeah, no, I don't have any problem with it.
Okay.
Wait,
Thank you.
that's just me.
Yeah, I know.
Is everybody good for the 27th? Okay, that one we can move. The other one, I don't think we can, the March.
I thought we said we could.
Oh, because we were gonna move it.
31st?
31st.
March 31st. Okay. March 31st, and then, okay, so those two meetings will be Kurt's. And then July, what is it on July?
27th.
And March was, what did you change for March?
March 31st is also a Tuesday, it's just a week later.
So we are.
Those two changes. Okay. All right, so let me check one of
We still will have to sign it, resolution, and we just make changes with the pen.
it. I just did.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't.
March was the 31st, and July was the 27th.
This isn't blue band. Oh, I didn't do it on, look at me. All right, good job. All right, so with those amendments of March 31st and July 27th to accommodate trustee Sweeney.
Thank you.
Second.
Who makes the motion?
Susan makes the motion, I second.
All right, Clerk Jelinek, can you call the roll?
Supervisor Marasky?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie?
Yes.
Trustee Carabota?
Yes.
Trustee Sweet?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are these done?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right. Officials reports.
I have another new business item.
You can't have another
I know it's not on the agenda, but we can still bring up an item to talk
You mean the
about. I
discussion?
know we can't vote on anything, but, maybe represents?
Yes.
Thank you. In light of the fact that we passed our levy in December, and the discussion at that point was that we would need to look further. I was looking for a deeper cut to the levy because we have so much in reserve, and which is surplus. So we were looking at what we might consider our fiscal year is March 1st. And what I wanted to do is just update the fund balances so that we all have an awareness of what we actually have in reserve as of now, with 2 months left of our fiscal year. And it looks like we're going to be, our target after looking at the income statements that Dana provided us for this month for spending. I think we're shy in our road budget by, we have 33% left, but the other two budgets look like we're going to be spending close to what, if we're on target for spending about 8% of what we spend in the fiscal year every month, we're probably going to eat up that budget. So anyway, the fund balances in each one of our funds total like over $12.8 million. So in our town fund, we have $8,119,000 in reserve. In our general assistance fund, we have $2,089,000, and in our road fund, we have $2,665,000. So if you look at what our budget is in general assistance for this year, looks like we're on target to spend about the $604,000 that we have in our budget. So if you just glance at what our budget is and what the general assistance fund balance is, we have over 3 years worth of the amount of money that we need in reserves alone. So, and if you look at the town fund budget for this year, it is currently $4,171,000. And
I'm sorry, is this for, what is this for? Yeah, what are we looking at?
Okay, this thing.
No, what is it for?
Oh, you okay?
The levy that,
The
For next
intent of
year,
this,
or the one we just
I am going to
passed?
suggest, and I presented something as an ordinance for next meeting, that we have a discussion and a vote on this, because I know it's not on the agenda now.
right, so
But
I'm
I'm
also,
looking
can I
at-
just caution to please stop saying that we're over any amount in the fund balance? That
I'm
would
just
violate
stating what the
law,
fund balance
because I
is.
don't think that's accurate.
All I stated was what the fund balance is. Chris just gave me the fund balances today. I asked him what the numbers are.
Okay.
So this is off of
That
his
isn't
email.
what I said.
Pardon me?
I said, that wasn't my caution. My caution was what the attorney's been cautioning you since 2 meetings,
Cautioning about what?
about stating as a trustee, any prior knowledge that you are over a fund balance, but that's illegal at this current moment.
Anyone can do the calculation, and he showed it in his
Right.
last presentation,
Okay,
so.
but,
I will refer it though.
but nobody has this.
I
We don't even, right.
Okay, this is off of his email today, okay? This is what
Okay.
the current fund balance is.
I
and this is what
understand
our
you and
budget is.
I are emailing.
privy to that.
Right, nobody else has seen
I'm
this.
just-
knows what you're talking about right now, and I don't know that.
I'd be happy to,
Right.
I got it
Right,
right.
hang on.
Anyone who would like extra credit, I actually made. a
Here's
motion.
the point, Susan.
The
You're,
problem is,
you
I'm
can
gonna
put
get
it on the
chance to
agenda
look at
for
that.
next
Nobody else
board.
has, you're just giving it to them right now.
But
We
I,
need to-
Thankfully, he just got back from vacation, was able to do this. This is something we're sharing with the public, so everybody can have it.
Well, you know what,
This is a good thing.
I'm wondering-
I'm disagreeing.
Okay, guys, here's the deal. I don't have any problem putting it on the agenda for next board meeting.
That's fine.
Okay, can I finish my point though? I'd really like to just finish my point.
Right, but you had some
Okay.
personal email that nobody else
No,
is
it's-
privy to.
Anybody can look and see
Okay.
what the last.
But it's also on the budget
Okay.
this year, right? You're
Last
talking
month,
about
we
the-
had the fund balance in October, Laura?
Yeah.
We had the fund balance in November, and any one of us could have asked us for the fund balance in December. I thought it was doing everyone a favor, saying, let's get the update to see what the fund balance is. Because clearly, one of the things we talked about was an abatement. If you remember last year, in January, we started the discussion about the abatement and what we were going to abate. This is information and facts that will help us arrive at a decision as to how we go forward.
This is from
Determining what.
This is a
Okay,
different budget. We're having a different budget coming.
We're not talking about,
Okay.
I'm talking about if we spend what the budget was last year. So let's just make an assumption, okay? That the general assistance budget is 600,000 again next year. Or maybe it's more than that. We don't know what it's like. Maybe it's less, right? Good point. Maybe it's less. Excellent point. We know we have 2 million in reserve. That's over 3 times the amount that we need.
Literally levied
My point is this, that we should consider, you know, we had I guess I'll say a consensus, because we never had a vote on this, but we looked at most municipal bodies that have 3 to 6 months, maybe a year, up to a year in reserve. And we talked about, I've got this information as facts from different local municipalities, but we talked about maybe having a fund, you know, we have to come to an agreement on this. And I'm not saying, we talked about maybe a year and a half, a year and a half.
So is that another
So-
thing you want on the agenda for next board meeting?
So what
Is that?
What I want on the agenda is, I passed out an ordinance.
I got that.
And what I asked for, and I specifically modeled this ordinance after what we passed, it's the exact verbiage with an update to it of what we passed in March of last year. And what this says is that although we levied the amount of $3,586,000 in town fund, I am recommending, and I'm calling this ordinance number 2020-1, that we abate $2 million out of that, and we would actually only need to extend $1,586,000 in taxes next year, because we have $8 million in reserve right now, okay? So,
So
in
wait.
December, and
So
we
then
might
we're
even
gonna
actually
build
have more than
more
that, as in my discussion with Chris, just slightly, you know, a few minutes ago. So the general assistance money that we have, but remember, Susie, we also have budget money in there that we expect to spend for the next 2 months. So I'm factoring that in.
We're getting feedback from.
Okay, the general assistance amount we levied was $413,000. And I'm suggesting, because we had over 2 million in that we would be able to abate the entire general
Okay,
assistance.
so you want this on next month?
So I would like this on for next month, and I would like this reflected in the meeting minutes for the current board meeting, so that people can
We
see
have
this.
time to, wait, you know that, right? I think they need to be talking about the budget.
I don't know what's that's about. I mean,
Oh, yes, yes,
All right, all right.
May I,
I get copied it too.
I'm sorry, are we?
may I,
No, I'm sorry. I thought Susan was talking.
So thank you for including that in these minutes today.
Yes.
I'm seconding that. This is really simple. This is not complicated. Last time we had a levy,
Second what? What are you
I'm
saying?
sorry, I don't want to be interrupted from,
Well, you
I don't want to be
you're
interrupted,
saying
I don't want to be interrupted from the viewing area.
Yeah.
I don't want to be interrupted from the viewing
We
area.
have audience, I mean, everybody needs to tone it down a notch. You don't need to make any second on anything.
There's no second.
There's nothing to second.
I'm not,
Susan
let me,
had
if-
engaged, the 2 Susans had engaged, okay?
and number one, my opinion is very simple. Number one, the 2 Susans shouldn't have engaged, because there should not be colloquy coming from the viewing area. Number 2, this is really simple in that we have a choice to levy for our future, for our next fiscal year, as well as to abate back tax monies to the taxpayers. We did the levy. The levy was not a significant cut. It was cut. It was a lot of work, and I think it was a very good decision that was made by the board. Here, my understanding of the ordinance that I'm reading now is very simple, that we're moving to abate on the town fund $2 million back to the taxpayers, in addition to levy reduction. And when it comes to general assistance, we're abating back $413,644, along with the reduction of the levy. In my discussions, in looking over the numbers, just to say to prepare for the meeting for next time, I also would look at this in a favorable light. Thank you.
Okay. So, this will go on next month's agenda. All right, now, officials.
And I also think one other just point on that, this is as it pertains to the road budget, the road levy that was approved. We had.
I'm sorry, you don't have any control over the road district
No,
levy.
in our meeting minutes and what was reflected, I was going to look at it exactly when we approved that. Was it December 26th, the road, or was it December 16th?
It was the December 16th.
December 16th, okay. There was a reference because we approved the 2.6 million for the road district, but when we looked at the receipts, we've only received like $1.9 million in distributions. So we have a question as to where that other 600,000 is that we're not seeing receipt from after we levy. And we had said in the meeting minutes that that would be researched. And so I think that's a current topic that we need to understand where that money, why the difference.
I'm happy to, you can talk to
So-
Wally, I think he answered that. The
No, he
clerk
did
just
not
doesn't
have an
give
answer.
it to us.
But it is.
We don't know where it is.
Okay,
We have
so-
no idea where it is. They levy, they give us less than we, that's the whole point we were
So-
trying to make.
Right, no, we made that point. We actually levied 2.6. The tax extension that the clerk's office approved was 2.5 something. And then what we received in distributions from the treasurer's office
But we're not done.
is 1.9.
We're not done.
So what we all need to understand where the extra 600,000 is.
Okay, I understand.
So can we put that on the meeting agenda to have,
For what? What do you need?
we'd like an answer to what where
From
that
who?
money is. From,
I don't think Wally can tell you why the clerk is not giving us the money.
Well, it's an issue of 600,000 a
I know.
year, and I tried to find out independently. I was not successful in my efforts, so I think Wally has to give us what he has available to the board. It should go on the record as to why we're levying 2.6 million and we're only getting 1.9.
Except that you guys don't have any
Has
authority
to find out
over his levy.
when, but we need an answer as to why, because I only approved in my vote 2.6 because we're only getting 1.9. But then there was never a clarification
and
as
in the
to
meeting
why.
minutes we just approved today, we said
We can
that there would be an
certainly see if
answer.
Tanya,
So I'd like-
who is
so I would-
the head of the
concur.
clerk's office, is available to come back, but I
I
don't
would
think she's going to
concur.
have an answer.
I would concur to put it on the
Because she
agenda
has-
for the next
I mean,
meeting.
aren't we all curious as to what
Yeah.
this is? I
I
mean, as a fiduciary, we're missing $500,000.
They give us whatever they want to give us. That
That's
is
not-
essentially what Tanya said.
But the extension goes out, meaning we tax the taxpayers 2.5 million.
2.6.
No, because we get not, we tax 95%.
And also the
We asked for
budget is not already
2.6,
levied
the
there.
clerk's office comes back and determines what the extension is at 95%. We saw that, and that, you know, that's
And also
basically what we
you're
get
not
in town
taking
funded
into
general
account
assistance.
the
But when it's come for
triennial-
road, we're getting way less than that, and we're missing 500,000. So we don't know where that is, because when we got the receipts then from the distribution from the treasurer's office, so the clerk approved 2.5. The treasurer's office came back and showed us receipts that we got from Chris, our auditor and accountant, and that's what we got was 1.9. So we are dumbfounded as to why that is happening.
So you want Wally to talk to? What is it you
Well,
want? I'm asking what you want.
Let's have this. Do we agree that as a board?
I am not dumbfounded.
I'm saying,
You're not done.
I'm
Okay,
saying we
wait,
just
then
put this on
let
the
me-
agenda.
And I,
No,
no, it's not on the
finish.
agenda, so I'm not gonna explain it.
Oh,
It's just-
Okay, when you say you're not dumbfounded, what, if
Because
if
I,
the clerk's office
many years
agrees.
we got over, some years we got under, the Cook County Clerk's
Okay,
Office.
listen, let me just make the point clear. What's happened is that we got approval from the clerk's office to get 95% of what we asked for. That's what they're taxing taxpayers for. When we get the money into Maine Township from the treasurer's office, all we're getting is 1.9. That's why Wally said, you can't levy 1.9 because we need to levy 2.6 in order to get 1.9. That, as a fiduciary, we have responsibility
You're not.
for that.
So-
So what happened to the rest of it? I mean, Carrie Lynn, if you can shed any light into, your experience with that, because that's not what happens in the other two budgets. We get what the clerk agrees to.
So if we put it on the agenda for next meeting, and we have Wally here. it's a good
I'd like to
start.
hear Carrie's explanation, please.
Good.
Well, the woman from the Cook County Clerk's Tax Extension Division who was here, so there was a whole complicated formula. We can get her back and she can explain it to you.
Sure.
But she said it should be in line. It shouldn't be much off of that 95%. And we actually got the piece of paper. We have the document that shows, Chris has it and sent it to all of us, what the extension was approved. I'm not arguing that. I mean, I think that's great. We got close to what we asked for. That's what we're taxing taxpayers for. But when it comes to actually seeing the distribution into what we get from the treasurer, it's only 1.9, and that's what Chris is saying he doesn't understand. So
That was the total of both the distributions?
Right, because we haven't had the February distribution, have we?
We're saying historically, Wally said that we have to levy 2.5 to get 1.9. I myself personally would like to get a straight answer as to why. If someone doesn't know, to tell me they don't know, and then we can continue on from there.
Are we getting a February distribution, isn't it?
We do get some February distributions, yes.
But that's what was specifically on the record.
Fiscal year,
Yeah.
March 1 to March 1.
There's a lot that comes into play with that. With the assessor's office, may I ask you a
May
little
she
bit?
answer this, because she has the most knowledge. Is that okay?
Yeah, but as long as we have it on the meeting for the next.
You are running the
I'll put it
meeting.
on,
It's fine with me, I'm
I'll do
recognizing
something
her, but I just want
Yeah, I think that would be great.
Oh, absolutely, that'd be fine. No reason to speak now.
Thank you.
It was Susie who got Tanya here. She's the person that has the relationship with Tanya. So I can't guarantee you that Tanya will be here.
I don't know that she has to be in person. I think.
Well, I think she does, because I think
She was the
she.
paper last
She
time.
said she couldn't explain it, so.
I'd like to see in advance of the meeting what's going on and what we can expect.
I can't give you some.
Can you send me all the background documentation on
Yeah.
that? And I'll try to make headway with the Cook County Tax Extension.
Yeah. Sure.
That would be really good, so we don't have to go.
So we have
circles.
something for the next, for the agenda for next meeting.
Okay, so then I'm clear. The two things you want on the agenda are your abatement proposal, correct? And, I guess Wally, Carrie Lynn, and possibly Ted to answer as best they can why that occurs with the highway.
No, that would just be the issue, like, no matter who comes, that's would be the issue.
Well, there's nothing to vote on. That's the thing. Like, what am I putting on the agenda?
The agenda would
An
be
explanation.
the question as to why that happens with road district. When Wally was on the record, he said that we had to levy 2.5 to get 1.9. Forgetting about what we're getting next month. and what we're
Okay,
getting.
okay,
So we
so-
need an answer as to why that is.
Well, it is somewhat important what we get next month. And I think we beat this horse to death.
No, I'm just
So
trying
that's
to,
the issue.
you say what to put down. I
What-
would say, why does the treasurer's office not give us what the clerk approved in a tax extension?
Okay, that's not.
And is the clerk's office
Yeah.
It's gonna be a
literally,
discussion
is the
only.
tax extension what they're taxing the taxpayers? Because if the taxpayers
It
have
is.
taxed 2.5 and we've only gotten 1.9,
I think.
I mean, I don't know how we can make decisions here
Right
right
now.
now. This is insane. How we can't be done about it.
Thank you.
All right, I know what to put in there.
Thank you.
Okay, now I'm going to do officials' reports, and I'm gonna start with that under the board, Assessor Wyland Crowe. Step right ahead.
Thank you.
Hold my side.
Hi, everyone.
everyone, good evening. Just a little bit of information about what's going on with the assessor's office. The tax bills for the first installment hit January 20th, which is very unusual. That's a little bit early for us. But actually, the treasurer had put them online on their website. They've been online for over a month. And it's always 55% of the previous year's tax bill. And I think it has a lot to do with, we have a lot of people that go to Florida, whatever, they don't get their tax bills, so they put them online. But the interesting thing is they're usually due on the 1st of March, and that being a Sunday, then it's due the next day, but it's actually due on the 3rd. So that's a Tuesday, which is kind of unusual. We also got a tentative opening already with the Cook County Assessor's Office for our appeals, which will be tentatively, nothing's in stone with the Assessor's Office, May 28th. Now, the assessor decided not only are we going to be open 30 days, but now we're going to be open for 40 days. So we'll be open for appeals for 40 days in my office. Right now, we are doing a lot of exemptions, questions on taxes, certificate of errors. We're seeing over 200 people a day. We're talking to them. We have had one of our girls out with a death in our family, so it's been an increased burden on our office. And also, talking about an abatement, the county put out an abatement. And this is going to come into play. It is for spouses of service people, either police, military, fire people, emergency people that have died within doing their line of duty. And it will abate to them the Cook County taxes. And also for the ones that live in Chicago will be the Chicago taxes. So, and this is going to go back to 2012. So that is an abatement, and we are just getting privy of this. I had an assessor's meeting on Friday. There are forms online. Right now, under the Board of Review, they're a little ambiguous and a little bit hard to find, but I know it's going to be out now in the news. The commissioner already sent a letter, and I talked to Commissioner Dan Patlack about it, but this will be moving forward, and there's different documentation, of course, that the spouse has to prove, and it is more like with the veterans exemption, that the spouse cannot be remarried to someone else. I mean, they can move, whatever, but they cannot be remarried. So that's a new thing coming out, and something else for us to handle within our office. That's all the information I have tonight. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Susie, and I just passed it out, a copy of that program. Yeah, that it looks like they have to, anybody who wants to avail themselves applies directly to the board. Okay.
This is great.
So you guys are handling to notify, we're handling to notify and told by the board of review. All right. Now, and next is Clerk July.
The thing I wanted to add to my written report is it's been kind of a rough week rough month, I should say, a couple of months at the clerk's department. Last month, of course, we lost Viacia's father, and then just this last Saturday, Kathy Friedrich's father passed away in my department. So my condolences go out to her and her family. She's not in this week due to the loss of her father. So that's all I have.
Okay, Trustee Smith.
Let's see, since the levy last month, we had the Township Officials of Cook County Trustee meeting, and this one was focused on talking about helping arm us with more board rules and Robert's rules and procedures that we can handle, so we can reference, so that we can help to run more efficient meetings, and I think that's always useful. We've got a lot of access online too.
Trustee Carabelli.
I thank Clerk Giulianos for his comments, and I join in with those comments as well. My condolences. Also, did attend the TOCC Trustees Division 2020 winter meeting in January. The food was great. The camaraderie was wonderful. There was a great number of townships that showed up through representation. Maine Township was well represented. We had pretty much a full table. It was fantastic. We learned a lot more about actually exercising parliamentary procedure, as Trustee Sweeney was mentioning. It was a good program, and that's about all I have. Thank you so much for coming out tonight, and a happy, blessed New Year.
Trustee McKenzie.
I too went to the TAC meeting, and all of us did. It was informative. I was hoping to learn a little bit more about how we could better run our meetings, but it was informative. And that's it.
Trustee Jones.
Not to be redundant, but I also attended the meeting, and it was very well attended, and was informative. I concur with Trustee Kennedy. I wish it was a little more informative, but it was a start. And then I just want to make sure that I wish everybody a happy, healthy, prosperous New Year. That concludes our report.
Thank you. Okay, so I would like to give my condolences to Deb Babbage, who lost her brother-in-law very suddenly, Kathy Friedrichsen's father, and V.A. Shantaylor's father. It was a very rough month in the township. Carrie Lynn was kind enough, after we had placed an order, to buy all of you new laws and duties handbooks. So she brought it for free. So we saved all that money.
Thank you, yes.
So I want to thank her for doing that. And some of the pending issues, we are going to have some personnel changes. We'll let us see when we have them. As we have another resignation. And also, well, two. We also have some requests with respect to sponsoring a scholarship at Oakton Community College that I guess Niles have done. So we're going to get back to that lady and tell her to apply through our agency funding. I think you've all seen the articles that we've had with respect to those things that we've done. And I want to congratulate the North Maine Fire Department. Also, at the next board meeting, because it was too late for this board meeting, but John Bennett, I think, will be moving from acting to regular, with no more hours and more pay. It's just the title. We are in the midst of budgeting, so and we will have all of those numbers to you, and hopefully can get that done in April. Oh, we also, for the first time, have Township Day. So this is a program that was done last year, but we weren't able to do it because it fell on a Saturday that conflicted with a lot of things. so this year, I just want everyone to mark their calendars. I believe it's Saturday, June 20th. And this is gonna be a big thing that we're going to participate in. The, Troy has asked us to be a part of it. They do all the advertising. And so we don't pay any money in advertising. And Marie is going to, Marie, our head of seniors, is putting together a lot of the entertainment and different booths that we're going to have. So that's going to be an event that is out in the parking lot. It's going to be, I anticipate a really good event.
What time will it be?
It's going to be Saturday, June 20th. I had asked, I think we're going to start at 10. Yeah.
4 hours maybe.
Right.
Parking lot.
With the new parking lot, which I was just getting to. We have a new parking lot, which I think you guys have seen, but we also have the new carpeting for the offices. So phase 2 of that will start after, we bring a contract, and that will be in the new fiscal year. Because now it makes, if you look at my office and the difference, this has to be replaced. So that's phase 2, as we discussed previously. So, with all those things, and I did not go to the taco, so not to be difficult, but I did not. But I did hear all about it, and so I also want to wish everybody a Happy New Year, and that's it. So now we are going to move, I'm going to make a motion to go into closed session. We have a series of minutes to review. Pursuant to ILCS 5-120-2C.
Second.
Having a motion and a second, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Jelinek, can you call the roll?
Supervisor Marasky?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie?
Yes.
Trustee Carabota?
Yes.
Trustee Sweet?
Okay, and before we do, I do want to say something. We got $10,500 from the crop walk, from our portion, donations. So at the February meeting, we're going to have Linda Santrolla, who is in charge of it, and to present us the ceremonial check. But that was one of the highest ever, and Carol Langen went as our representative, and everybody that participated did a fabulous job, and the food pantry has gone way up in terms of distributions and also donations. So I'm very happy to see the community, because I know Jewel also did a huge amount, just like they did last year. Okay, and with that, now we are going to go into closed session. Anybody who is an employee here can leave, except for those who can't. You know who you are. In open session.
Motion to reconvene in open session.
Second, having a motion. That's fine. Clerk Jelinek, can you take the vote?
Supervisor Marasky?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie?
Yes.
Trustee Carabota?
Yes.
Trustee Sweet?
Yes. All right, so I'm going to make a motion to approve and release a series of closed session minutes from August 27, 2019, September 24, 2019, October 22nd, 2019, that began at 11:11 p.m., and November 26, 2019. Having a motion in a second, Clerk Jelinek, can you call the roll?
Supervisor Marasky?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie?
Yes.
Trustee Carabota?
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney?
And I am now going to make a motion for adjournment.
Second.
Motion and second is all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? All right. We are